Lacrosse can best be described as hockey on grass, which is the goal of organizers.
The report found heads-up leagues like this one reduce the number of concussions during games by 29%.
The latest numbers from the Alaska Health Department found nearly 18% of students to be overweight in 2017.
Bartlett at Chugiak in a matchup of Chugach Conference rivals tonight. Bartlett tried to remain undefeated, while the Mustangs went after their second straight win. Will make that their first win of the season. You see, Chugiak has forfeited last week's victory over Wasilla after a Mustangs player spent extra time on the field. The Alaska School Activities Association told us tonight the player took part in too many quarters during the varsity and JV games. That violated the rules. Meanwhile, senior night at Chugiak, but Bartlett played spoiler early and often. Golden Bears' first play of the game, Elijah Lear gets the ball, finds a gap, couple of nice moves. Next stop, the end zone. Bartlett up just like that, 7-0. Not done yet. On the very next series, DeMario Moore takes the handoff, gets to the outside. He's also untouched. 13-0 Golden Bears at this point. They lead 27-0 after one, 48-0 at the half. Bartlett remains perfect and the state's top-ranked team in Division I with the 73-13 blowout victory. Taking a look at other scores, Colony bounces back from last week's loss at Bartlett. The Knights hold on to beat West 24-19. It's the Eagles' third straight loss. Meanwhile, Houston picks up its fourth straight win of the season as the Hawks travel to Ketchikan and hand the Kings their first loss of the year, 22-20. Kodiak defeats Lathrop at home 20-12, while Palmer travels up north and has no trouble with North Pole. Moose rout the Patriots 43-6. And a late score just came in moments ago. Barrow takes care of Reddington 33-6. Speaking of North Pole, it looks like the Patriots will be without their head coach for a while. The Fairbanks Newsminer reports head coach Dennis DeVinny has been placed on administrative leave by the North Star Borough School District. Investigators are looking into allegations made against the coach, but have not said what they are. DeVinny is in his third season at the helm. Diamond C team lost to East Wednesday night in the Lynx' first game following a 2-week suspension, while the Anchorage School District investigates claims of abuse involving the varsity football program. The suspension also sidelined the JV and varsity teams. They return to action tomorrow also at East. JV at 9 a.m., varsity at 2 p.m. To hockey now, Anchorage's Claire DeGeorge is one of 37 players invited to the U.S. Women's National Team Evaluation Hockey Camp September 13th through the 17th in Maine. DeGeorge currently plays at Bemidji State. Bocce ball returns to the Special Olympics Alaska Sports Health and Wellness Center this weekend. It's one of two events during the annual fall tournament. Roughly 200 athletes, coaches, and volunteers from around the state will take part. Besides bocce ball, some athletes will compete in golf at the Anchorage Golf Course. The tournament wraps up on Sunday. There's a new game in town. It's physical, but the kids enjoy it. That includes young Sean Casey.
So far, it's been fun, easy, pretty hard sometimes.
Sean's among the first group of kids to play lacrosse at the Ben Boeke Ice Rink.
Lacrosse can best be described as hockey on grass, which is the goal of organizers.
Yeah, bring my arm up. Rolling my wrist.
The Anchorage Hockey Association organized the month-long program to get some variety in what can be a one-dimensional sports focus for too many youngsters.
And the problem with, you get a lot of sports, people play year-round. And that's not what's needed for these kids. These kids should, for us, put their hockey sticks down and pick up a lacrosse stick, because hockey and lacrosse have so many similarities, and it's just good for these kids to unplug from hockey and try something new.
Remember, right?
Maybe new, but lacrosse is similar to that other sport typically played in this arena.
You're going like this, but you're going like this to shoot.
It's fast and competitive. And Sean Casey offers one piece of advice.
If you play too much, you're gonna get pulled off sweating.
But what do you expect from the sport considered the fastest game on 2 feet? In Anchorage, Dave Laval, KTVA 11 Sports. Brandon Evans showed off a new look when he hit the mat for a wrestling match at Anchorage Christian School. He wore the new uniform of Kuskokwim Learning Academy. Evans received it just a day earlier.
Off your knees, Red.
Meanwhile, Rhett Jackson faced his opponent in a newly bought uniform. He and many teammates had no choice. Their old uniforms are gone. Flames destroyed the academy November 3rd. It had been housed in the Kilbuck building along with a K-6 UPIC immersion school. The fire destroyed everything, including the wrestling uniforms. But the building is not the only thing scarred.
And I don't know what I was going to do if we don't have school in KLA.
We had no uniforms, we had no shoes, headgear, medical kits. We didn't have anything.
ACS and other schools offered wrestling gear to the Mustangs so they could compete. Just one problem.
We couldn't keep that stuff. We were going to need stuff for this weekend, so we decided let's go shop, see if we can find stuff in town.
An Anchorage sporting goods store offered the items at a major discount.
It's just awesome how people are helping us.
Brandon Evans won his match, something he and others at his school needed after a devastating loss. Dave Laval, KTVA 11 Sports.
Diamond Lakes football right here.
Derek Brewer gets his troops ready for battle. The Lynx varsity team tackles East in its first game after a 2-week suspension. Diamond forfeited 2 games while the Anchorage School District investigates sexual assault claims against the team.
Let's go. Hey, remember, gentlemen, play smart here.
Big day for Tracy Lyons and her family. Son Tanner finally gets back out on the field.
It means everything to me. My son's a senior, and I'm excited that they're back out there.
Let's go, Diamond!
Tom Fletcher also shows his support for the Lynx, as his son Logan is Diamond's punter. The last couple of weeks have been tough for the players and their parents.
We had a situation take place, and it took way too long to let these guys come out and do what they're supposed to be able to do. So I think that was the toughest thing for kids, parents, and the school as a whole.
Don't let up, please, you know what to do.
Diamond has the support and a few highlights, plus several low points the Lynx cannot overcome as East rolls to the 47-0 victory. Still, Diamond players have something to celebrate, just being on the field, especially the seniors.
It's the pinnacle of happiness for all of us. It's just great. It's just so important to us.
Just not being able to play. I just wanted to play.
Fight!
Players show their pride even in defeat, but they also win a big battle as the season, once in doubt, continues. In Anchorage, Dave Laval, KTVA 11 Sports.
Get you dive on one. Ready?
Things did not go as planned for the West Eagles under-10 football team. The Chugiak Mustangs recovered the ball. It happened during the annual Boys and Girls Club football jamboree at Anchorage Football Stadium. Keegan Baker is a tight end with the Mustangs. It's a position he loves to play.
They get to tackle people.
Baker is not concerned he could get hurt during the games.
Because I've never gotten hurt and I just don't know what it feels like, so I'm not worried.
Go!
But coaches are concerned about the players' safety, especially when it comes to head injuries.
People tend to look at it like it's not a real injury, but it is part of the body, and it's a vital part of the body.
Scott Stark can tell if one of his players suffered a head injury. He and the other coaches in the league have been trained and certified. This is the 3rd season the Boys and Girls Club has played its games with the Heads Up football program.
It makes them aware of what the signs and symptoms are of concussion and what the return to play protocols are.
USA Football created the program in 2013 to help players learn proper tackling techniques and reduce head injuries. It launched a study in 2014 that examined the program's impact on youth football around the country. The report found heads-up leagues like this one reduced the number of concussions during games by 29% and 34% during practice.
Organizers of this league said their games have always been safe, but the Heads Up program has made them safer. Dave Laval, KTVA 11 Sports.
Tap on the side and tap in the back.
This is not your average hokey pokey.
So as I show you side to side, you're going to do the same thing.
Claire Ellis helps students at Willow Crest Elementary School learn what it's like to be an Olympic athlete.
You're going to squat down like you're on a snowboard.
It's fun, but the students also learn the importance of being active.
Ready, set, sprint in place, go.
Willow Crest is one of many schools around the state where kids play like this. In this case, though, PLAAY is spelled. It stands for Positive Leadership for Active Alaska Youth, an annual event run by the Alaska Sports Hall of Fame. Organizers want kids to be more active, but it's a growing problem. The latest numbers from the Alaska Health Department found nearly 18% of students to be overweight in 2017. That's an increase from 4 years earlier. Nearly 14% of the children are obese.
I think technology is a big problem. Kids would rather be playing video games or be on their cell phones instead of outside and being active.
It may be on the adults to get them going.
If they don't have parents encouraging them to go outside, then no one's motivating them.
But being active at home is easy.
Just going for a walk. If you've got a dog and going walks around the block is great, or just playing basketball, shooting some hoops, or just doing things at home. And even video games today can get you active if you're dancing or engaged in some of those more physical video games.
It's a message students hear and heeding.
So I can be healthy when I grow up and have good health.
And it all starts with kids just having fun, which should be an easy sell. Dave Laval, KTVA 11 Sports.